Hi, this is Ted Kelly with another Ted's Hospitality Minute. Hey, today we've got a great guest on. His name is Mark Ricketts. He's with McNeill Hotel Company. He's the president, chief operating officer. Good morning, Mark. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, we thank you for coming on. We love talking to the hotel veterans out in the industry and trying to see how things are faring for them and kind of get a gauge or a pulse, I should say, on how the folks are doing and how well things are coming back. So before we dive into that, let me ask you to tell us a little bit about how you got in the hospitality business. I know you're a veteran, so you've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
Yeah. So my father was in the business. So, he dragged us around to all the different hotels. And, uh, you know, I played basketball in college, and then I hurt my knee and pretty badly. And there was a Holiday Inn on campus. So I didn't have a car. So I was able to walk, to the hotel and, just, really got started in it. And I was fortunate that a gentleman, he was in the regional director of Jackson, Mississippi, and he got transferred to Atlanta. And lo and behold, he made me a GM of a Holiday Inn at 23. And, he introduced me, and the director of sales said, "Hey, I've got underwear older than you." So that was kind of a comeuppance, but I've been in the business. And in fact, my father and I got into business together, and we were very fortunate that we won the Marriott Partnership Circle Award. And I think we were probably the smallest company to win that. And then we had an investor that decided to get out, and that's where I joined Philip McNeill and his father at Equity Inns. And about 3.5 years into that, we were taken private by a division of Goldman Sachs. That's how I got to Dallas. And Philip reached out in about end of 14 because my parents still lived in Memphis. So he asked me to meet, up with him, and we had a breakfast, and he said, "Hey, I want to start a company." So we started it in March of 15, and we bought a Residence Inn in Morgantown, West Virginia, right across from the football stadium. And, now we're up to 26 hotels, and we're getting ready to open in August a Courtyard. And, we laugh, it's Manhattan, but it's Manhattan, Kansas, right outside of Kansas State. So we've been very fortunate to, grow the company. And we just kind of focus on Hilton, Marriott, and Hyatt select service. And, we've been fairly successful.
Wow, that is awesome. Great
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys fared during the pandemic. How were you able to kind of keep the lights on, so to speak? And then, kind of now that things look like they're starting to open up a little bit, talk about, from where we were to where we are and kind of where you see things going.
Yeah, I mean, we had about 10 days before the pandemic really hit, we had a leadership conference, and we had it, in Memphis. And we had Christine Trippi with the Wise Pineapple, and, she gave this keynote address that yes is the answer, and we gave everybody books. And we also had, we didn't know the pandemic was coming, but we passed out a book called Grit, and it was Angela Duckworth. And, the Memphis Grizzlies had a saying called grit and grind,
Right.
for their basketball team. And we kind of, put it to use. And, 2020 was definitely a grit and grind. So, we had a great conference. We were able to visit the National Civil Rights Museum and, really, get, kind of motivated. And then 10 days later, the pandemic hit. And we decided to make the decision that, we wanted to keep the GMs, the AGMs, the director of sales, the chief engineer and the executive housekeepers. So we did that, but they had to work shifts. And, our feeling was that, whether we were in college towns or we were close to hospitals, we felt that the demand would really come back. And, we wanted to have those people, a GM or a director of sales, to be able to answer the phone. We have, 4 people from a revenue management team, and we decided to keep those because obviously, if you don't have revenue, you're in a little bit of trouble. So, we did that, and, we had executive housekeepers working the audit, our chief engineers working the desk, but we were very, very fortunate that all of a sudden, by the end of March, we had National Guard, we had, health professionals, we had, truckers that were basically, kind of keeping the country afloat. And, it was really great. And, looking back, from April of 21 to April of 2020, we had a lot of business in 2020. And, as the hotel picked up, the comp sets, we looked at 2021 and said, wait a minute, we're losing share, but it was because we had so much stuff in 2020 that really kind of put us ahead of the competition.
So how do you feel about where things are going now?
We've been very successful, but we've had 4 good months in a row, and it looks like July is, definitely out there. We have, 11 extended stay hotels, and, as most people know, I mean, extended stay has really done well. I mean, you can come in there, you can order DoorDash or Uber Eats, and, you've got a refrigerator, you can heat it up, and you can, have breakfast. So, those hotels have done really, really well. The biggest issue is been finding help. And, I think that, we've got to get creative, and trying to figure out that, we've had job fairs, we've, done referral bonuses, but, I think as in college towns, a lot of the students may only want to work 4 or 5 hours. So maybe we, look at, having 3 times as many associates, than normal. And I think, we've always gotten into the 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7.
Right.
But, we have 3 or 4 hotels that we're bringing laundry in overnight, so that way the individuals can stay home, because, there was issues with daycare, and then, a lot of the schools were virtual, and, you definitely didn't want to have a 9 and 10-year-old running your house. So, we thought that, having, maybe thinking outside the box would really help us. And, we've done that. I mean, even, we used a lot of staffing companies, and even the staffing companies, were struggling with that. But, we're seeing some green shoots, and, I think that that's important. And, one of the things that we started in the pandemic was, we wanted to make hospitality a career, because I think a lot of people said, I'll just, have this job for 4 or 6 months, and then I'll go to something else. So,
Yeah.
it was really uh, during the start of the pandemic, we kind of started a management trainee program, and we had 3 individuals, and they all became assistant general managers, throughout the company. So that was, really good. And, we've tried to extend that. And, we, started to put, more and more people kind of in a training session to show
Yeah.
that, hey, hospitality is a career and it's just not a stopgap until you get another job.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a great idea to try to retain your talent, right?
Yeah.
Especially in a time when talent is shorthanded or folks have so many other requirements that they're kind of dealing with.
Yeah,
So
most definitely.
yeah. So you think 2021 things are faring along pretty well. Do you think 2022 we're going to see kind of back where we were pre-COVID, pre-pandemic, or what do you think about 2022 and the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think, it hinges a lot on, business travel and, the smaller meetings. But, we have a lot of drive locations. So, I was at a hotel about 3 weeks ago, and, these 3 gentlemen, drove from, Jackson, Mississippi to Memphis, Tennessee, and, they said they're going to be there for 3 nights. So, a lot of people, still get in on planes, but, we're fortunate that we have a lot of drive locations,
Yeah.
so people can get in the car and, you know, do that. But, we had a great Memorial Day weekend. We had a, nice July 4th. So I think, people are, as they're getting vaccinations, they're feeling more confident about them. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that that's done a lot, for our business. And, I think probably the tail end of 2022, maybe the start of 2023, we'll see normalcy. I know that, a lot of pundits were, kind of fearful. But now I think, I think they've seen that, maybe 2023 will be where we are. And,
Yeah.
the great thing is we didn't drop rate as much as we did, during the recession of '08, '09, and then after 9/11. So for the most part, rate didn't drop as much. So, I think we'll be able to carry that, kind of going forward.
Okay. Do you see your occupancy levels kind of moving back up in that Sunday through Thursday? I think most folks are seeing the jumps on the weekend. Are you guys experiencing that the Sunday through Thursday night traffic is occupancy is picking up, or is
Yeah,
it?
we've been very fortunate that, we, during Memorial Day and then the week after, we ran 90% as a portfolio, which, in the state of Oregon was still kind of closed at the time. So, we have a Hilton Garden in Beaverton, Oregon, and they were still running like 40, 50. So, we have 2 hotels in Destin, Florida. It's drive market. So people want to get to the beaches. Unfortunately, we have hotels near hospitals, and, unfortunately people are, still getting sick, and, kind of going from there. But, and then the other town, we really like, college towns, as we kind of talked earlier. And, we try to look at those campuses that have multiple demand generators. So we have a Town Place Suites in Auburn, Alabama. And, last year in April, May, and June, we had a car plant that, we had a group of 12 rooms and then another group of 18 that were coming from Korea. And, that really, pushed occupancy.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, we kind of like the markets that we're in, and
Yeah.
we've got a hotel in Waco, Texas, which is close to Baylor, but as a lot of people are driving, the length of the state, they'll just stop in, and it's a home two suites, uh, and they again extended stay, and they like
Right.
that. And one of the things that we did was, we became pet friendly. In the extended stay hotels, the Residence Inns, the, Town Place Suites, the Home Two, and the Homewoods, um, they all allow pets, but, we asked the brand for waivers. And, like at our courtyard in Nashville, we created like a 50-foot spot where, you could take your dog. And, that really became a big deal because, as during the pandemic, there were a lot of pet adoptions. So, you know, uh, people are traveling more with pets. So,
Yeah.
we think we hit a home run with that. So,
Yeah. That's great. You got some nice unique ideas and thoughts there. One unique thing about you guys I wanted to have you talk about a little bit, and you've hit on it a few times with some of these Beaverton, Oregon, Waco, Texas, all of these places, Auburn, Alabama, great football towns.
right.
So, how did you guys get to a place where it looks like a lot of your properties are located in football cities, colleges? You seem to be in close proximity to those places. That by design?
Yeah. When Philip and I, had that conversation, we had been in, college markets with Equity Ends and with Goldman. And, the first hotel we built was a Town Place Suites in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which, the University of Southern Mississippi is there. And then the second hotel we built was in Waco, Texas. And then, we bought a hotel, the Hampton Inn in Athens, Georgia. And, since then we've built a Homewood Suites in Athens. And, we really like that. We developed a hotel in Auburn, Alabama. We bought a hotel in Gainesville, Florida. We bought the hotel, their very first one in Morgantown, West Virginia. We just bought a Hyatt Place in Bloomington, Illinois. So, we definitely like college towns. The football, the graduation, the parents' weekends, and we tended to be in the Big 12 and the SEC, where they're just adamant about football. So,
Wow.
we've really enjoyed that. So.
Well, I think you're going to hit a boon coming in the fall, because I think a lot of folks are pinned up and hungry for football, including myself. So I think things are going to go well for you in the fall for sure on the occupancy levels when it comes to that time frame. But Mark, tell folks a little bit about your services real quick, and if folks really want to try to reach out to you to try to take you up on some of your services, how do they find it once you kind of tell us all the different little services niches that you guys provide?
Yeah, I mean, it's at www.mcneillhotels.com. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, and, we post a lot. And, you know, we have a philosophy called people serving people. And, it was hard during the pandemic because, we typically work at, food pantry or, Habitat for Humanity. And, a lot of those things, were just closed up. But, we have, that philosophy. And, we basically allow the hotels to donate $1,000, to any charity or civic organization they want, and then we match that $1,000, for them. And then once they hit that $1,000 threshold, if they still want to do additional work, we count up the man hours, and if it's $600, then we'll cut a check for $600 to whatever charity or civic group or that they do. So we're excited about that.
Okay. Okay, but you guys, I guess, based in Germantown, Tennessee,
Right.
you also have an office in Plano, Texas,
Correct.
and approximately what I think 30 hotels. I think you guys are managing and providing your services for. So, Mark, all I want to say is we definitely appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time today. This has
Well,
been Ted with another Ted's Hospitality Minute. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.